जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा बनचारी यमुना तीरा बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परम हंस पर्व कथा अष्टोत्तर जीवाइन के शील ऐसी भक्तमय स्वामी प्रपाद की। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परम हंस पर्व कथा अष्टोत्तर जीवाइन के शील भक्त सिद्धांत सरस्वती की। अनंत कोट वैष्णव भक्तवृंद की। नामाचार्य हृदय ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम को राधा किन गोवर्धन की। वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की। नवदीप मायापुर धाम की। गंगा मैया की, यमुना मैया की, तुलसी देवी की, भक्ति देवी की। सामवेद भक्तम निताय गौर प्रमंडते। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assembled Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled Hare Krishna. All glories to Guru and Guru. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 8, Attaining the Supreme. You speak after me. Adhibhūtaṁ kṣaro bhāvaḥ puruṣaś adhidaivatam adhiyajño aham evātra dehe deha-bhṛtāṁ vara adhibhūtaṁ kṣaro bhāvaḥ puruṣaś adhidaivatam adhiyajño aham evātra dehe deha-bhṛtāṁ adhibhūtaṁ kṣaro bhāvaḥ puruṣaś adhidaivatam adhiyajño aham evātra dehe deha-bhṛtāṁ vara. Now you speak one by one. adhibhūtam kṣaro bhāvaḥ puruṣaś adhidaivatam adhiyajño aham evātra dehe deha-bhṛtāṁ vara adhibhūtam kṣaro bhāvaḥ puruṣaś adhidaivatam adhiyajño aham evātra dehe deha-bhṛtāṁ vara. Anyone? No. Mataji's? adhibhūtam kṣaro bhāvaḥ puruṣaś adhidaivatam adhiyajño aham evātra dehe deha-bhṛtāṁ vara. Okay. adhibhūtam kṣaro bhāvaḥ puruṣaś adhidaivatam adhiyajño aham evātra dehe deha-bhṛtāṁ vara. Word meaning? Adhibhūtam, the physical manifestation. Kṣaro, constantly changing. Bhāvaḥ, nature. Puruṣaḥ, the universal form, including all the demigods, like the sun and moon. Cha and adhidaivatam, called adhidaiva. Adhiyajña, the Supersoul. Aham, I, Kṛṣṇa. Eva, certainly. Atra, in this. Dehe, body. Deha-bhṛtāṁ, of the embodied. Vara, O best. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace H.G.Vaikuntha ki jai. O best of the embodied being, the physical nature which is constantly changing is called adhibhūta, the material manifestation. The universal form of the Lord, which includes all the demigods, like those of the sun and moon, is called adhidaiva. And I, the Super Lord, represented as the Supersoul in the heart of every embodied being, am called adhiyajña, the Lord of sacrifice. तो 9 को You see, earlier we have studied 7 chapters in which we have studied the nature of the soul. We have studied the karma yoga, We have studied the fruitive activities. We have studied the karmas, fruitive activities, akarma, vikarma. And now actually this chapter is attaining Supreme. So our goal is, our aim is to attain the Supreme. So until unless we know who is the Supreme, what are the qualities of the Supreme, how can we attain the Supreme actually? In this regard, Arjuna has said to the Lord actually, Param Brahm, Param Dham, Pavitram, Param Bhavan. Puruṣaś Sāsvatam Divyam Adhidevam Ajam Vibhum. Ahūtam Rishaya Sarve Devas Narin Tatha Asit Deval Vyas Swayacham Bravitmi. Arjuna said, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the Supreme Truth. You are eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narad, Asit, Deval and Vyas confirm this truth about you. And now you yourself declaring it to me. This is our supreme goal. Supreme goal means attaining Kṛṣṇa, or the devotional service to the Lord Kṛṣṇa, loving devotional service to the Lord actually. This is our main target actually. So until we know this actually, then and on we can only attain the Supreme. For example, if we do not know the target actually, then how can we reach there? For example, we want to go to some place actually, and we are standing at a crossing, right? The four ways are there, to east, west, south and west. Where we want to go? Until as we know actually what is the path actually, so we cannot reach that actually, right? So this is the system actually. So we must know actually who is the Supreme and what is the path actually. In earlier chapter actually, we have studied a lot actually, that is the basics basic of the path to attain the Supreme Personal Lord, Godhead. And in this chapter, the Arjuna asked 8 questions actually. He asked questions, Kim tat brahma, kim adhyatma, kim karma, puruṣaś, adhibhūtam cha kim proktam adhidaivatam kim uchyate. The Lord replied that, Arjuna said, O my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahma? What is the self? What are fruit activities? What is this material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this to me. Next questions हैं adhiyajña katham ko atra dehe asmin sudana piran kale cha katham gyo asanyat atma bhi. Who is the Lord of sacrifice? How does he live in the body, O Madhusudan? And how can those engaged in devotional service know at the time of death? Now the Lord Kṛṣṇa answers this question in the third text, he answered that Akṣaram Brahma Paramam Svabha Adhyatma Uchyate Bhūta Bhava Utavakaro Visargaha Karma Sangitam. The Supreme Personality of God had said, the indestructible, transcendental living entity is called Brahm, and his eternal nature is called Adhyatma, the self. Action pertaining to the development of the material bodies of the living entities is called karma of routine activities. In this today, perfectly, so in this case, this adhibhūtaṁ kṣaro bhāvaḥ puruṣaś adhidaivatam adhiyajño aham evātra dehe deha-bhṛtāṁ vara. O best of the embodied being, the physical nature which is constantly changing is called adhibhūta. So in 9.10 is explained, Maya dekshana prakriti suyate characharam. Nature. Hetunanena konteya jagat viparvartate. The material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. The Supreme Lord is the supreme will and the background of this material manifestation. But the management is being conducted by material nature. Kṛṣṇa also states, Bhagavad Gita, that all of the living entities in different forms and species, I am the Father. The Father gives seed to the womb of the mother for child, and similarly the Supreme Lord by his mere glance inject all the living entities into womb or the material nature, and they come out in their different forms and species according to their last desires and activities. This is actually depend upon the past activities. Whatever their desires are there, at the time of giving up this body, actually, they take the form of the body. Actually, all these living entities, although born under the glance of the Supreme Lord, take their different bodies according to past deeds and desire. So, the Lord is not directly attached to this material creation. He simply glances over the material nature. Material nature is thus activated and everything is created immediately. This is the material nature. So material nature is what is there. This is ever changing. Just actually, we have just actually read actually, ki the material nature, which is one of my energies working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. It is ever changing actually. The nature is ever changing actually. So this is called adhibhūta. Adhibhūta, this is the nature actually. And second is that actually, the universal form of the Lord, which includes all the demigods. What is the universal form of the Lord? The universal form is the form of Supreme Personality of Godhead in which one can see everything in the universe, all at once. In the universal form, one sees past, present and future. One can see all demigods of the material creation and all other living beings. Bhagavad Gita graphically describes the revelation of the universal form. Arjuna saw in that universal form many unlimited mouths and unlimited eyes. It was all wondrous. The form was decorated with divine dazzling ornaments. All was magnificent, all expanding, unlimited. This was seen by Arjuna. If the hundreds of thousands of suns were to rise at once in the sky, they might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. This is the adhidaivatam. Meaning of this actually, adhidaivatam. Before this actually Arjuna was not having the vision. That vision was given by the Lord Kṛṣṇa to see his actually universal form actually. This is universal form. Meaning of this universal form. And who is the next part is adhiyajña. Who is adhiyajña? What is the adhiyajña? The adhiyajña refers to Kṛṣṇa himself. His form of Paramatma situated in the body of living being. He inspires worshipping from within and gives result of what worship is done. He is alone situated, although the Paramatma is expansion of Kṛṣṇa. This is because the Paramatma is not different from Kṛṣṇa. So this is known as adhiyajña actually. Then I will read the universal form of the Lord, which includes all the demigods like those of the sun and moon, is called adhidaiva. I, the Supreme Personality, I, the Supreme Lord, represented as Supersoul in the heart of every embodied being, am called adhiyajña, the Lord. Now purport. The physical nature is constantly changing. Material bodies generally pass through 6 changes. Naturally, actually, you see, actually, a child is born, right? He grown up. He is stable for some time. Then he produces some byproduct. He become old, dwindle, then vanishes. This is the changing process actually. Every moment, the body is changing actually. You won't find that actually your face that is before 10 years before and now at present actually, and after 10 years actually, it will not remain the same actually. Whosoever may be, he may try to maintain himself as young as possible. This is not possible. Everybody has to grow old actually. This is true. Is there anybody here actually who can say that he will remain young? Anybody who raise hand? No. You see in our body actually, na, sometimes these knees are not working. Sometimes eyes are not working. And many of us, what is their suffering from this? What is the disease called is diabetes. They are not able to eat properly. Some are suffering from the heart disease actually. This is the changes actually, no? As long as the time passes, they are the changes actually. You see in the park or in the forest actually, where some trees are very much having the green luster actually, and some has become dried actually. This is changing actually, every moment actually. You see this cows and calf at our home actually. As the age passes, they become old and die. Right? This is happening actually. This is true actually. 6 changes, they are born. This applies to human being, aquatics, birds, everywhere. They grew, they remain for some time, some duration. They produce some byproducts. Byproducts means they produce children actually. They dwindle, they become old actually. And then they vanish actually. This physical nature is called adhibhūta. It is created at a certain point and will be annihilated at a certain point. This nature is not permanent actually. Nobody knows when it end will come actually. It is changing actually. The conception of the universal form of the Supreme Lord, which includes all the demigods and their different planets, is called adhidaivatam. Actually, the demigods are the parts of Supreme Lord actually. These have been assigned different duties for the maintenance of this universe actually. To have the system in proper form, all the demigods must function simultaneously properly. This is regarding just our body actually. This body works properly only when our organs work properly actually. Right? And second thing is that actually individual who want to go to this what we say, Swarg, they worship the demigod actually, individual. Some worship sun, some worship moon. So what is there actually now? They worship for their material benefit actually, not to attain the liberation actually. But actually, all the demigods are pleased only when we worship the Supreme Personality Godhead by chanting the holy name of Lord Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. If we worship the Lord Kṛṣṇa actually, there is no need to worship the individual demigods. But we must respect them because they are the superior to us actually. We must respect them actually, but we should not worship them actually. If we worship those demigods actually, then we are not intelligent. Those who are not intelligent, they worship the demigod for their personal benefit. And those who worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, like us and you people also, their aim is one, to free from this cycle of birth and death, to transcend the three modes of material nature, to transcend the ocean of nescience actually. This is this actually. So our aim is to be that actually we should worship only the Lord Kṛṣṇa. By worshipping the Lord Kṛṣṇa, we will be free from the cycle of birth and death, and simultaneously the demigod will also be happy. Because I am to go for this Arti, my duty is there actually, no? Right. And all the demigods and different palliative is called adhidaivatam. And present in the body along with the individual soul in the Supersoul. A plenary representation of Lord Kṛṣṇa. The Supersoul is called the Paramatma or adhiyajña, and is situated in the heart. Where this Paramatma is situated? Paramatma is the expansion of Lord Kṛṣṇa. And this is situated in the heart of everybody, as per this text number 15 and chapter number 15. Sarvasya chaham hridasannyavisto mata smriti jnanam apohanam cha vedescha savir aham vedyo vedanta kṛd videham chaham. I am seated in everyone's hearts, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Next is, yes, the Supersoul is called the Paramatma or adhiyajña and is situated in heart. The word is particularly important in the context of this word because by this word, the Lord stresses that the Paramatma is not different from him. This is what I have told, because the Paramatma is the expansion of Lord Kṛṣṇa. That's why it is not different from the Lord Kṛṣṇa. Paramatma and Lord Kṛṣṇa are the same. The Supersoul, the Supreme Personal Godhead, seated beside the individual soul, is a witness of the individual soul's activities and is the source of soul's various types of consciousness. When the soul and Supersoul both are present in the body is consciousness. Body is conscious. Various types of consciousness is there. If there is no soul, the body becomes dead. And Paramatma will also be not there. This is fact actually. Because when we say actually, because we believe that actually we are not this body, we are soul. Our identification is the soul. So we say somebody has left the body actually. Means that the soul is eternal actually. That's why we say the soul is eternal, he has given up the body actually. Body is left actually. Only the soul is either he has taken the rebirth or the soul has attained the liberation or Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supersoul gives the individual soul an opportunity to act freely and witness his activities. The function of all these different manifestations of the Supreme Lord automatically become clarified for the pure Kṛṣṇa conscious devotees. Pure devotee means those who are chanting the holy name of Lord Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Those who are following the four regulated principles, those who are attending the Mangala Arati, those who are engaged in the different services of the Lord, just as Matajis are engaged in making garlands for the Lord actually. Some are involved in Kirtan actually. So this is the devotion service. Some are involved in the cleaning process of the temple. Some involved in dressing of the Lord actually, in decorating. There are various services actually. So these are the pure devotees actually. The gigantic universal form of the Lord called adhidaivatam, Devata, is contemplated by the neophytes. You cannot approach the Supreme Lord in his manifestation as Supersoul. Neophytes is advised to contemplate the universal form or Virat Puruṣ, whose legs are considered the lower planets, whose eyes are considered the sun and moon, and whose head is considered the upper planetary system. Upper planetary system means abode actually. So we must fix our mind on the lotus feet of Lord Kṛṣṇa so that we can get rid of from the cycle of birth and death actually. Hare Krishna, I finished my lecture here. Any question you people want to ask me? Yes? You speak on the side, not.
Hare Krishna, Prabhupada. Like in the purport, Prabhupada is saying that the legs are considered the lower planets. In the legs are considered the lower. In the Virat Roop, Kṛṣṇa, in the Virat Roop, the legs are considered as lower planets. So we have to, as you say, we have to just think of Lord Krishna's feet. When the lower planets are considered not
लोअर
good,
प्लेनेट मीन्स उसको बोलते हैं नरक.
मगर भगवान के चरण वहाँ पर है ना प्रभु, इसमें
नहीं,
लिखा है.
लोटस फीट एक्चुअली व्हाट इज देयर कि दिस इज द मतलब रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ दैट एक्चुअली. दिस इज द रिप्रेजेंटेशन. This is written in the Gita actually, in the purport actually. I am speaking from that point actually. But for the devotional service of the Lord actually, we have to travel in the boat of lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Then and only then we can get liberation from this physical world actually. We must keep their lotus feet in our heart actually. That is a separate point actually. That is a representation. For us, as per this scriptures or our achar actually, this is our achar. This is why the Prabhupada actually, right? This is the thing actually. Lotus feet means to fix the lotus means to remain submissive actually. To remain submissive actually. This is the thing actually. If you remain submissive to the Lord actually, then and only then you can get rid of from this cycle of birth and death actually. You can cross over this ocean of nescience. You can cross over this physical world consisting of three modes of material nature. We are also entangled in this modes of material nature. Why we are here actually? We are all entangled in physical motion. We are attached to our family members, attached to our friends, society, attached to our house, attached to our physical opulences actually. This is because of the modes of material nature actually. But by performing devotional service or chanting continuously, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, our attachment is become less actually. Right? We are the marginal energy of the Lord Krishna actually. One is spiritual energy, another material energy. If we are towards the material energy, then we will always think regarding the physical opulences, sense gratification actually. When we are towards the spiritual energy, because of association of the devotees, then what is there actually? We will be in the process of liberation from this material world. So long as we are not in contact of the association of devotees, we will be attracted towards the physical opulent life actually. Sense gratification actually. To use our senses, ear, nose, this tongue, eyes, etc., for physical purpose actually. For example, our eyes are to see the form of the Lord, ears to listen the kirtan, to Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. So our heart is purified. Our mind is for glorification of Lord Krishna actually. Our hands are for making these garlands to make worship, to service to the Lord actually. Right? If we go to the cinema actually, we see the picture from our eyes actually. What is that? This is the physical thing. If we listen to the songs based on the cinema actually, that is a physical thing actually. We are attracted for that actually. But on the other hand, if we use our senses properly to the proper sense object, means to the form of the Lord, to listen carefully the lectures, to listen to the kirtan, to chant holy name Lord Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, to respect devotees, to service the devotees. We are the eternal servitor of the Lord Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa is our master and we are our eternal servant. This is this actually. It is very much clear actually. Anything else?
Thank you.
Hare Kṛṣṇa. Thank you very much.